Hello, hello. Let's go to talk time. Oh, my camera's frozen. Let's deactivate and reactivate the camera. Hi, everybody. Alright. Delana redeemed, release the main. Tally just had a shower. Alright, everybody. That smooth jazz you're hearing is release, or the Roottrees are dead. This is a game I saw on a streamer I follow called Secret Sleepover Society. And it's one of those things where I started watching them and then realized I had to stop because I wanted to play the game myself. Because it looks like a lot of fun. It is very Return of the Obra Dinn or Golden Idol-like, where you're basically just using clues to kind of like figure out mysteries. Good game. Ooh. Old school loading bars. How we doing, Delana? The Roottrees are taking a long time to load. Nope, I get second ads. Oh yeah, that's okay.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottrees and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors.
Dun, dun, dun.
Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
Roll credits.
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottrees company's lawyers are scrambling. Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for. I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees. A genealogy genie, as it were. I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Okay, so here's how the game works. We got to figure out pictures, names, and occupations for people, the Roottrees at whole. Siblings are in birth order, oldest, youngest. They always do that. They're married. Sleuth. Okay. Person who hired you gave... Oh, I'm gonna turn down... Where's the settings? Music doesn't need to be quite that loud. Person who hired you gave you this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees sisters' Got Milk ad. I've tracked down a test photo from before they were painted with the fake mustaches, on which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, "You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Roottree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it." Okay, and now I have pictures of their faces I can now put in stuff. I can zoom in and zoom out. Go back to evidence. This list was provided to you by the mysterious person who showed up at your door. You needed to fill out the family tree. Eloise, question mark, Anderson, Gwyneth. Okay, so there's just a list of massive amounts of names. Of men and women. Okay. Gotta torture the robot to get on the internet. Spider search. Okay. I'm doing that all the time. Brief pictures fill the news about the plane crash. Besides that, there are countless advertisements and conversations about the various products made by the Roottrees Candy Company. Most articles mention Carl Roottrees, who was the president of the Roottrees Candy Company. His daughters are also eulogized, collectively known as the Roottrees sisters. Copy. They've been famous at a very early age. A lot of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. You may come across the unofficial Roottrees fan site, seemingly curated by a teenager. It's neon pink with purple text. It's hard to read until you highlight the words. The young webmaster writes, Rihanna is the most famous because she's the oldest. Okay, so let's do this. Create highlights. Oldest. And got married to TMS. So, married TMS. Save notes. Riley. Create highlight. Smart one. And then the youngest, because apparently Rose, that's why you spell it that way, is the middleist. You might think that they are just rich because they're like models with their dad, as well as the president, and their mom Brenda is a fashion designer. Okay, so Brenda is the mom. They do modeling for her brand Root. I eat Roottrees candy all the time. My favorite are the maple crisps, and try to dress in plaid Root clothes like Riley. So Riley dresses in plaid. Edits. Plaid. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. Okay. Ears pierced. Rose author continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about the Root fashion lines, but none of it is relevant. That is fine. I'm going to turn my camera down a little bit so you guys can see more of me. Hi. Okay. So let's see what we can find about TMS. Or at least, Reina Roottrees. A lot of obituaries focus on research across official fan sites. TMS. Common abbreviation for early 19 heartthrob, Tommy Mark Sheridan. His first credited role as Thomas Sheridan was on a soap opera called Time Marches Onward. Skyrocket. Okay, since the end of Brother Trouble, he's often been on the cover of tabloids. Supposed to drug use and more recently his relationship with Raina Roottrees. Okay, so after a short engagement, alright, so Thomas Mark Sheridan. Tommy Mark Sheridan. So, boop, boop. Okay. So I think that's enough, actually. Let's head back to this. So, Raina's oldest, Riley is youngest, and Rose is middleest. So, this is Raina, Riley, and Rose. There is nobody named Rose. Okay. Well, also, let's do this. Oh, no. Thomas Sheridan. Technically, they're all models. So you do that. Alright, let's find out what's going on with Rose. That's probably her older sister Raina, but still very well known. Aw, poor middle's daughter. The only other thing we saw was Root. period after it. Okay. Root period is part of the name. It's a clothing company. Make clothes for children, toddlers, teenagers. So their website is down. You find countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes towards their audience. For the Roottrees looking hella flying catalogs. Now you two can be like Riley, Rose, and Raina. And also a website for collect your clothing catalogs for their Root. It's released 2 catalogs per year every year since 1984, and Raina appeared on almost all of them. There's only one women's a collector's item enough to mention. Seems that Brenda Rootree, Rootree's mother, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose. It says that this was the only time her daughter was ever listed with birth name of Carly. Okay. So Rose's real name is Carly. So let's get the notebook out. And, let's do this. Real name Carly. So that means back to the board. Carly Rootree. Right. Riley wears plaid, and then Rose or Carly has ear pierce. So this was the one in plaid, and this was the one with ear pierced. That means this one must be this. Yay! Yay! We did the thing, folks. We're sleuths. Booyah!
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired. The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even. But here's the catch. The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. The man who started it was particular about who he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives.
Yeah, fucked found family. Yeah, I don't believe that, by
Anyone
the way.
related only by marriage is optional, but filling them in can lead to useful discoveries.
Okay.
Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees. Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree. I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
I mean, you don't know how long it's gonna take. Alright, fine. Nope.
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Roottrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you, and good luck.
Okay. Hey, we get stars for the noble people. Sleuth. Okay. So, we know this is Carl. And this must be Brenda then. The only Brenda we have is Brenda White. We're going to assume that's who that is. He was a CEO. We need to find a picture of Carl. Okay. Top secret. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so this is about as far as I saw the streamers go. Okay, they're split up. Okay. We got new pieces of evidence. Notable Roottrees. Two sisters, Carl Rootree, Elias and Gwyneth Rootree, Gwyn Rootree, different from Gwyneth, Red Rootree, Jim Rootree, Lauren Rootree, Miracle Jr. Easy to find online. 35. How many clues are connected to a single piece of evidence? Okay. Let's start on Carl then, but first, advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The ad also mentions the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Strawberry, Power Plum, Bad Blue Raspberry, Awesome Apple, and Cool Chocolate. Inventor had 5 kids. I mean, that's kids still love them, right? Flavors because it's no longer the 20s. What even is elderberry anyway? So elderberry is one of the original ones. Okay, elderberry tastes good. Fuck you, game. Roottrees sisters and the parents died in the plane crash on December 6, 1998. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door and said the lawyers are looking to sort out the family tree. After a quick test, the figure gave you access to some resources, including a list of notable Roottrees who they said would be easiest family members to place. They said they would return in the time it took to fill out 6 more blood relatives. Okay, that's just where we are now. Oh, okay, so that goes through. Oh, it's got those. That's nice. All right, let's start looking up Carl. Carl Roottrees. Archie died in a recent plane crash. Gasp. Along with his wife Brenda and their daughters, the Roottrees sisters, he was the president. Thank you for the alert, Atlanta. He was the president of the Roottrees Candy Company, as well as the clothing company Root, which he co-founded with his wife. There's a short press release that the Roottrees Candy Company released today to news organizations, December 6th, 1998. It is with a heavy heart that we mourn the loss of Carl, Brenda, and the Roottrees sisters, and the other employees that perished in the terrible tragedy. The entire Roottrees family is in shock, I say, and requesting privacy at this time. As the head of our company, Carl was an incredible man and an unmatched leader. Filling his absence will be difficult and may take considerable time. In the interim, we hope that you join us in looking back fondly on Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. They go on to list some of the accomplishments. One of them seems relevant to your search. Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. Let's search that. Ooh, new Pearl. Business Watch. Business Watch magazine is a magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and their economy. They've been around for over 100 years. Every year they offer a award to a prominent businessman who is further afield. They call this Watchman of the Year. You find through a few searches that the 2 Roottrees have been featured as Watchmen, Elias and Carl. Business Watch does not host any online archives or on any site. You can find via spread, but you may find individual articles entry through your periodical search. Carl Roottrees. Go to Watchman of the Year. The cover and the summary article have been added to your evidence. And there we go. Got a picture of Carl. Engaging coverage of who is who in the corporate world. Grab life by the roots. Alright, so we can actually do this then. So we got Carl. Does this talk about his parents at all? Carl Roottrees voted the Watchman of the Year, and it's a photo of him appears on the cover. According to the cover, Business Watch is the magazine for and about corporate leaders, and has ongoing coverage of who's who in the corporate world. Carl was chosen not for his work at Roottrees Candy Company, this clothing company, Root, with the period. There's a brief history. Before they married, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with the other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim Roottrees, a notable singer who had a daughter around the same age as Raina. Okay, so Jim Roottrees, let's create a highlight. Carl's, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Carl's cousin had daughter. Oh, and singer. By 1982, Brenda's patterns had become copied by other brands, seeing the demand. Carl and his second cousin, Ernie Jr., okay, who just became president of Roottrees at the time. Ernie Jr. was president, okay. Second cousin. Carl was president before him, I'm guessing? Other blood relatives who have a say in the company's finances refused to fund anything other than candy, so Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, however, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment, and now Root exists under the umbrella of the candy company, and they all benefit. Per tradition, or perhaps superstition, new clothes always debuted the way that the first ones did. Raina became the catalog's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters were then recruited to show off the baby clothes. Carl's voted primarily... Okay, gotcha. Okay. So that said nothing about his parents, which is bad. I was hoping to grab those. Pearl. Roottrees. That was found. Okay. Go to spider search then. Pearl. Nothing relevant on an old Roottrees, even if we had in Junior. So this is Carl, so Earl must be one of these to be a cousin. Oh no, one of these to be cousins, to be contemporary. Okay. And these are the original 5 kids. Alright, who do we have on the names? We don't prove that it's Carl because we need 3 more. Let's try Elias then. Elias and Gwyneth Roottrees. Hey! Elias Roottrees was the founder and the first president of the Roottrees Candy Company. You find what is essentially a propaganda site about him creating the Roottrees Candy Company at the top. There's a picture of him and his wife Gwyneth. As added to your evidence. Biography section has an initial in it. Right, he's credited for inventing 5 pieces of popular candy. Before that, the farm he inherited by marrying his wife only produced syrup. After 5 pieces became wildly successful, Elias spent his time and energy on cementing his reputation as a family man. He's quoted as the business saying, "Blood is thicker than syrup, and that any child linked by blood to me shall be linked by blood to my legacy." The site enthusiastically claims that he made good on that promise, but offers no additional detail. There are a few more quotes about Elias from a book called Family Man, The Roottrees Legacy. Let's copy that. By Bess Williams, to say they are biased is a massive understatement. Below that is a long list of accomplishments, and one stands out, like his great-grandson Carl. Elias was voted Watchman of the Year. Okay. But I have a public library, so the Family Man, this is by Bess Williams. Oh, that's wrong area. Published in 1920, hardcover nonfiction delay. This is essentially like an investigation internet. Yeah, it basically is, Adelina. A book about Elias Roottrees. There's no downloaders version of the book is impossible to find these days. Oh, that sucks. Alright. There's Elias and Gwyneth. Famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth Roottrees was taken in 1909, and after they founded the Roottrees Candy Company, but before it was a success. From what we found searching the internet, it seems very quick to find any site about Elias or Gwyneth that isn't accompanied by this picture. Elias and Gwyneth are on a notable Roottrees list that we marked the chart with star. Okay, so they are the founders, so we can go back to this, and we know that they are. Okay, so we know it's Elias. So Elias is there. That's Gwyneth. Elias Roottrees. Does president work? present first. Okay. Gwyneth. No, there's no Gwyneth Roottrees. Okay, so we gotta find her maiden name. So he's president first. That means that you might actually not be CSO. You might be president fifth. Let's do that. Also, the focus on blood means that I'm guessing that this stuff here is like blood relatives that we're not supposed to know about. Okay, we gotta find stuff about Gwyneth. Let's say this is the first Anderson maple farm. Okay, so she's Gwyneth Anderson. There are a few pictures. I'm guessing they're bastards. For Lowe's took over the farm, produced only syrup. Okay. So that means she's Gwyneth Anderson. That was one of the names. Boop. Gwyneth Anderson. Farmer? Okay. I think we got this one wrong. Let's go through the different presidents. Nope. Okay, CEO. Because it said that she'd come back when I get 3 additional blood relatives. Because stay-at-home wife, housewife is a thing. So then this was the wrong one. There we go. Also locked the falling off. Yay, Brenda. Booyah. Didn't she come back? For the person who already returns, every time you get 3 additional blood relatives in the family tree. Oh, I need to get 6 more in order for it to come back. Okay. Okay. Nothing I've found is anything about Carl's parents. What can we find about their kids? Actually, let's search 5 pieces, because the 5 pieces are the original kids. 5 pieces. Ooh. For the marketing material and various candy history sites, we learn that 5 pieces are the iconic candies sold by the Roottrees Roottrees Candy Company. Blah. Although they are no longer the company's only popular product, they still sell well to this day. 5 pieces are small, colorful, shell-coated maple candies that, since the late 20s, have been pressed into the shape of maple leaf, although they usually had one flavor that looks more like a berry. Tastes have changed over the years, so they have 5 flavors, but the shape and combination of the maple have remained consistency. There's also a history of print advertising website that claims they have a 5-piece advertisement scanning from the book called The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2 by Charles Lee. Okay, so let's copy that. Let's go to the public library. Charles Lee. Hey! Published in 1985, the year I was born. Hardcover, history, advertising, nonfiction. This is part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward. Book ends with a look into the future, with image highlights everything wrong. It includes some print advertisement. You find a newspaper ad for 5 pieces from the 1930s added to evidence. Aha. It's a miracle, a modern candy for a modern society. Roottrees 5 pieces contains 5 different maple-infused flavors. The Roottrees are a proud family business, and our flavors are inspired by our children. G is for grape, E is for elderberry, CE is for cinnamon extract, M is for melon, and introducing M for miracle berry. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Miracle berry is a burst of beautiful blossoming blended berries. Try it today. So I'm guessing it's the initials. G-E... Wait a minute. Wasn't Miracle one of the... Hold on. Yep. Miracle. Okay. Night spider search. Miracle root tree. Hey! Find a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by Miracle Roottrees Estate. It is quite bare bones, but has the following blurb. Witness the testimonies of the Miracle's root tree. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life, the doctor swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by only over 14 years. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems, but still, with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He also had the power of anime, but we don't talk about that. He triumphed over these complications and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Roottrees Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottrees name, took his father's testimony to a whole new level. After Miracle Jr. spread the gospel, entire ignoring it, since left the life glamour goes behind to teach those places they need the most. Pilot load coming to you. It's a blurb of the tour, which is in evidence. Hello. So we have Miracle the Third and Miracle Jr. Witness the power of the Lord in the summer of '96. 3 Generations of Miracles tour featuring testimony from the world-famous Miracle Jr. and a special guest appearance from Miracle Roottrees in his 68th year on God's earth. So close, so close. Children now welcome, celebrate with your youth pastor, with your pastor Miracle III and his wife Nicole. Okay, we can start adding some stuff in. All right, womp 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 womp. This one. So if Miracle's the youngest, this is Miracle. I do love Elderberry too. You became a pastor. That's not a one. Is it preacher? It is preacher. We don't know who you married. But this is Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. Also a preacher. And this is Miracle the Third. Also, believe it or not, a preacher who is married to Nicole. We got Nicole Madsen and Nicole Smith. So let's find that out. 68 boring and funny. Exactly. Okay, we're learning stuff. So let's search Miracle the Third. Is there a better way to copy this? Preacher, I hardly know her. Let's try Nicole Roottrees. Let's try Madsen, because that was one of the choices. What was the other one then? Nicole Madsen and Nicole Smith. Miracle. What was it called? The Miracle Network? Hold on. Oh, I can go back. And a website for the Miracle Network. This was $20 on Steam. I shouldn't have spent it. It is not money I have at the moment to really be spending on it, but it looks so much fun. I'd had to try because I love these kind of games, and I love this is the streamer I watch, Secret Sleepover Society, Jacob and Julia. They play these kind of games all the time, and I love watching them. But I also I wanted to figure one out, so I figured I'd get in on this one. It's a production company run by the Miracle Roottrees estate. It's quite bare bones with the following blurb. Witness the testimonies of the miracles. Roottree. Roottree arrived so late in his mother's life, the doctor swore. Okay, so that's going to be basically giving me the same thing. Let's try Miracles Roottree and see if that does anything. Exploring looks like that is fun. Well, yes, okay. Let's try the Miracle Roottrees estate. Huh. Let's try Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. goes by his full name and promotional materials. Instead, he is shortened to Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. is a televangelist who is part of the Miracle Network. He used to have a show that aired on local access across many stations in the northeastern United States. According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in 1979 when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. He was exposed, revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in disguise. The author mentioned that Edith had a bit of a checkered past herself, but doesn't clarify. He since lost television show and instead goes across the tour. Okay, hold on. So his wife is Edith. So let's do that real quick. Miracle Jr., wife is Edith. Edith Jacobson is the only one we got. Okay. Edith Jacobson. Nothing wrong. Okay. Let's Clergy Watch get us. Yeah, it does sound about right that he was a scam artist. Guess we know Miracle Jr. and Edith. We don't know who his mother was or who his sibling was. And we know that you're one of the Nicoles. Why are these all why is this separated out by a line? What is this? What happened over here? Huh. Alright, so... Oh, it's if I want to cancel out the picture. Where should we start looking next? Can we search for this tour? I want T. No, same information. Okay. Let's go back to our notable list for now. This has got 3 bits of information left on it. Alright, who's Gwen? Let's just try Gwen next. Found information on the website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. Site is not very well organized and your search is broken, but you can get individual pages from your search engine. Gwen Roottree is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Her biggest role was the minor hit Guys Like Us. She left the Hollywood after the flop Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwen from behind the scenes one of her movies. Gwyneth was the granddaughter of Elias Rootree, the founder of Rootree Academy. Shouldn't have been named Rootree, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. Okay. So she is a granddaughter. So she is one of... Not these, but this line. I think she's either this one or this one. Oh, she's the public divorce. So this has got to be her. Gwen. Roottrees. And that means that this is an M female name for Roottrees. Let's see what we got here. This has got to be Margolite. We don't know who she is or what she does, but it's got to be her because of the candy, right? Hey, boop. Grab that real quick. Nope. This one. Yeah, because it's Gecemm. So it's got to be Margolite. Okay. Let's get the picture of Gwen, who was an actress. Well, actor works. Oh, hey. Three entries of the correct have been locked in. Okay. Edith Jacobson. Hey, we got Edith right.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes. But I unearthed a photo from the 1970s Roottrees reunion. I also found some important-looking papers.
Oh, whole bunch of new.
9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
And just sent me a whole bunch of evidence. Okay. So before we get off the roll, I want to find out who Gwen was divorced, Gwen was married to. Let's search guys like us. Guys like us, it poses businessmen to get ahead in life, starring Gwen Street, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Lane. I'm guessing Harrison Lane is going to be... Due to the popularity of Guys Like Us series brought Lane back to play the villain's twin brother. This time as a hero joining the protagonist. Meredith Hawkeye, so it's not Harrison Lane. It's got to be the other movie. Christmas Mission. So we all know actors are just getting together. You find some information on the website, but old films that are not is on a page called Flops. It was a war movie about World War I released. Okay, never mind. It's not this one. It says the divorce is highly publicized. Let's do Marguerite. No, fuck you. All right. It was the brand under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. It had a handwritten note attached to it that seemed personal. It's a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from the newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie, having grown up in an unconventional family to say the least, but in her words is still full of love. She's the bastard. And now 22 years later had a baby of her own due around Christmas. Her message for voters simple: love is our future. The handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let her conflict spread to the next generation. CM. Wonder who CM is. Let's grab pictures. This photo has a note attached from the employee. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water damage picture of the free spirits out of a frame, this fell out too. Written on the back of the photo is couldn't make the reunion, wishing you well from Paris, Gwen and the boys. Okay. This is Gwen. Those are her two sons. So she has two sons. This photo is tucked into an envelope with a letter beneath the candle in the corner of the office saying, give me a second. To Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you weren't able to attend the funeral. It's tradition to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on Earth, knew how busy your job can be. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected to those outside the faith to do so. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl carried on for him after all. Ernie was the cousin. As for myself, it is impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from a panic and burden of endless bills, though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list. The company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew that it had to be Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We would never have done that without the two of you fighting us. Much love, Debbie. Okay. Give me a second. It's because Ernie is one of the cousins of Carl. Do we have any that is just a single kid? No, we don't. Okay. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 or so years, the Roottrees hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is the one from the 70s, and Carl is the teenager in the middle. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back it says, in childish print writing, it says November. There are also a large number of current signatures. They include Bonnie, next President Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Rucci, Carl Clark, and Eli M. I could grab all these pictures. Well, hey, there's Miracle at least. We recognize that tie. We're not going to touch this yet because this could add a bunch of stuff. I will keep in mind and come back. Okay. There's still something else left here. Oh, hey, this will zoom for me. Nope, my camera froze. Don't know why it keeps doing that. I'm just going to put in one of the Nicoles. I'm going to say Nicole Madsen, and then we're going to see. Oh, I can put in multiple pictures of it. Okay. This is if they have multiple pictures of them. Understood. Okie dokie. Where do I want to start? Still working on Gwen. We know Gwen had 2 kids. Who did she get divorced to, and what are the name of her kids, and what do they do? So why is this... I don't Like, I don't know why this is a blocked off. Oh. Biggest role was the minor hit movie Gets Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop. This is a widely circulated picture from behind the scenes on one of her pictures. You know what? I didn't actually read the stuff next to that. Let's do this. Okay, that gave me nothing. Who were you married to? By searching variation, going to come across the mentions of a marriage to Wild Bill Williams. They divorced before the birth of her second child. Let's search Wild Bill Williams. And your search is broken, but you can... Wild Bill Williams was the leading man of some non-notable movies in the 1950s. He appeared in an adventure movie called Fortune Favors the Grave, which is yet to be released for home audiences. You don't find any evidence. He was known for his good looks and Oscar-winning romances with blondes. He was married 4 different times to 4 different actresses. There's a famous Hollywood rumor that he even approached Marilyn Monroe at a party, and that she already was aware of the patient. Grew up in Paris, France. He returned there often. Okay. So we knew... let's do this one. Who do we have that's Williams? Oh, no, let's do the some like Fortune Favors the Grave. Well, Bill Williams is the leading man of some non-notable and ban the bot. Grew up in Paris, France. So let's do Paris Williams. Why is he not listed then? Is there just a William on this list? Oh, it'd be Guillaume. Alright. Okay. Evidence board. Okay. We're figuring stuff out. We're hit of a bit of a block, but that's fine. Let's go back to the name list. Let's start looking up Red. Aloysius Herring Roottrees, aka Red, was an appointed judge and politician, born his name ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only 6 days. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. Oh, Red! He then tried to run for state senate and claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in a newspaper, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence and he was defeated in a landslide. Huh. So he's not... Why is he a notable person if he's not on the blood relation? Unless they lied to cover that up. Because he's a notable person, he should be a star. Do we have any stars over here? We don't. This whole side of the family tree is not notable. Okay. Let's do the proper search then. I don't think I should search the Roottrees Candy Company. Let's try this then. No, not what I need. Also, I love this jazz. The jazz is fantastic. Recent has been a lot of... There's like Gwyneth, family owned small farm, and Anderson May perform. Has no CEO and no stockholders. Instead is run by a president. Has been directly descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl Roottrees. Despite his death, listed as the current president. The product that put them on the map with 5 pieces. Okay, so not much I knew, just the whole president CEO thing. But why does Marguerite not show up anywhere? I'm not typing anything. That happens in real life too. Marguerite. Okay. Sorry, I realize I'm stuck in my... Oh, what is this? Okay, 3 more for the walk-in. Okay. Alright, so red's a bit of a dead end right now. He's a red herring. Aha! I see what you did there, game. Search Jim. James Roottrees, a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife, Diamond LaRue. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to their disco song, Rollin' On Down to the City. That is now in my evidence folder. Fantastic news. Although Jim writes the majority of songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit, but it has fans who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. The rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they were known for. Jim Diamond continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you'll find mention are Cherry Tree and Sound of Laughter. Bit of Recluse has not made an appearance since 1996. More like Swedish Fish. Dun dun dun. Okay. Okay, so same information if I search for Diamond. Nice, fantastic. Oh, there's a play button. Hold on. Rolling On Down to the City was barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979. According to the liner notes, it satirized how part of society was content to remain indifferent to the economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East. What? Unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners don't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of them came for the roller discos. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Maybe that's why you've never heard of it before now. This image is from an auction of a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says only the great grandson of Elias Roottrees could make disco this sweet. It is credited to Peter Janowitz from MMM. Musics and lyrics by Jim Roottrees, vocals by Jim Roottrees and Diamond Roottrees. Jim's unnotable. We're rolling on down to the city. Saturday night. Oh. Hopeless. I love this song. Okay. So today be a great grandson. So that's grandson. My phone just fell over. The only other notable person in this line is this. This has to be our buddy. Alright, I'm sorry, this is such a bop though. All right. We know that he had a daughter too, right, from the clothing line. Oops. Period. Where was it then? Because there was something that mentioned that the thing that mentioned when she had her. Business watch. Be down here then. What was it not? I could have sworn. Sorry, what I'm looking for is there was an article I saw that had James Roottrees having a kid. Let's search cherry tree. Sound of laughter. Let's do Diamond Dazzlers, see if that works. If that finds us anything. Hey! Diamond Dazzler is a name for the official fan club of Jim and Diamond. You find a forum post calling cool things you got in the mail on a random forum about video games. One reply mentions that Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year to the Diamond Dazzlers. It's accompanied by some pictures as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though it is no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor it themselves personally. There is a fierce debate in the subsequent post of whether that's cool or pathetic. Among the pictures, the Christmas cards from over the years, only one is relevant, the card from 1996, including pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about our daughter's band, the Floozies. Let's search the Floozies. Floozies are an all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently, they were the opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual, and not because of the music, which she described as loud, fast, repetitive, but not in a good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. Dun dun dun. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumored to be children of other famous musicians that didn't want to be why they became so popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They were probably losing a fortune. The viewer said although she bought a copy, she would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again, except maybe Beef Baby, the 7th track. There's no pictures of Floozies performing live, but the cover of the CD they're selling, Conquistador, has been added to your evidence. That is fantastic. Also, please tell me Beef Baby shows up and I can actually hear it. So we can't find anything. Boy, I didn't like that. It's hard to speak on the subject matter. Kind of euphemism is about an over cow. Perhaps Floozies is holding a grudge against a toddler. That's fantastic. Alright, this is Wolf. Guitar and vocals is Candy, who's probably... I forgot her name. So then... This is... Wolf. And let's go back to... This is his daughter's band. It doesn't say what the daughter's band name is. Let's search Conquistador. So it's like I'm doing okay. This is a musician. This is Child. Is Child still a babies? Let's do student K through 12. It looks like that. Oh, Candy Roottrees. This is... Hey! We did a thing! These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. Okay, so we got those down. We also got Diamond LaRue. Okay, so these are locked. Did we add anybody else? We did not add anybody else. Everyone we have added so far has been locked. Let's try to find out anything about Stephanie Jones. It's also been an hour and 11 minutes. We're going to go for a bit longer, probably an hour and a half. Let's just do this. It's always easier to copy and paste for me. Stephanie Jones. Search. You learn from election results page Stephanie Jones, a candidate for the candidate, won her campaign on election day. Be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times. New periodical letter, that's what I thought. Side note, the video game called Roottrees was once set in Butler County. Turns out the creator never lived near Butler County or even... That is fantastic. Alright, periodicals. Butler County Times. Stephanie Jones. Counting election results of last month's election. Stephanie apparently won her election. You also find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unemployment, you do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had the entire family influence. Though she's a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother, Carolyn, a local artist who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees. I want to bring love to the world. Okay. Brian Jones. Famous athlete who broke a pole vaulting record in 1954. It doesn't relate to the Roottrees. Looking for different brands in the community. Search for more local source. Okay. Carolyn Landon then. Nothing relevant. Okay. Then periodicals. Let's do Brian Jones here. Many advertisements over the years, as well as a small article from the 1995 about Jones Graphic and Print. The article is a piece about Brian Jones taking over his father's print company after 20 years. Brian seemed to not have let it go to waste as a marketing opportunity during the interview portion. I've been in and out of the shop my whole life. My father taught me everything there is to know when it comes to getting the job done right and getting it done quick. We've been a printing staple of Butler County for years, and even the Butler County Times uses us for their coupon pages a few times a year. Thanks, by the way, he laughs. But still, when you're a new client or one of the regulars, nothing will change. Come on down to a best price of bulk printing or search us online. I designed the website myself. So then we do this. Print company that, according to the website, had existed in Butler Times for time. The website seems to be fancy. It even has frames. The website lists the address, hours, and an example of a few clients and types of work they have done. Stephanie Jones Campaign, Roottrees Candy Company, various banners, Butler County, Holiday Light Post banners, Miracle Network, the tour flyers, Roottrees Motors, coupon flyers, Butler County School District, various banners, Butler Summer Theater. What's Roottrees Motors? And I'm going on a rabbit hole here. Alright. Oh, that's Roottrees Motors. Roottrees Motors used to be called Wilkins Motors. And then, whoa. I just printed out a shit ton of stuff. An ad for Roottrees Motors has run in every week's Butler for many years. 3 different unique versions of the ad. Okay. Wilkins Motors is now Roottrees Motors. Okay. This is Wilkins Motors. Tessa Roottrees news fixture learn all about there is with cars from her parents. Okay. And this one actually has an intuition thing. Let's do this. Come on. Isn't that right? So yeah, someone Wilkins married someone. Problem is we don't have like locations here. Bah and humbug, I say. Why are you making this easy for me, game? So somebody Wilkins married somebody named Roottrees, and then they had Tessa. Oh, I can add in the other picture for now. So, boop, boop, boop. Evidence board. Yeah. This one. Who is Wild Bill? Why can't I find his name anywhere? LaRue Rafferty? There's Tessa. Oh, there's Wilkins. Catherine Wilkins, okay. So, Catherine Wilkins married into the Roottrees family. Can I find anything about her? Alright. Well, all else fails, let's head back to the notables. We got one left. Author Lauren Roottrees, a distant relative of the Roottrees sisters, is known for her book A Life Between Wars. According to a website about famous authors, in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty, to little fanfare. When her publisher learned that she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrees, to take advantage of it. A selection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and social lights all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it has found new life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style and for a look into the life of previous generations. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lawrence Roottrees. This included Romance in Court, which gained popularity. This showed the release of this followed the release up by writing two new sequels, creating what fans refer to as the Court Jester series. Find no recent details. Okay, so Romance in Court. Paste. This is Lauren Roottrees. Nothing relevant, so I did something wrong. What am I doing wrong here? Where's the novels? I corrected myself because I thought E wouldn't be possible. Romance novels. About the author blurb mentions that she had inspiration from one of her brother Clancy's lectures on the Middle Ages. So Clancy and Lauren are siblings. So we're looking at Jesus, I'm an idiot. I'm going back here looking for siblings. A Life Between Wars. Copy. Of the library. No. Oh, that's 3 things. 4 things. 5 things. 6 things! 7. Jesus. Seems you've hit the jackpot here. Definitely have. This book occasionally taught in schools. You can find a hardcover edition for students that has full-page, high-quality pictures in it. A summary of the contents of the book's photos, as well as some of the particularly relevant entries in the diary, have been added to your evidence. Life Between Wars, Excellent Times of Roottrees, bloop, bloop, Lauren Roottrees, and that is her hubby. Okay. We'll come back and read those in a second. What else was new? This is the next generation. We can always tell where the miracles are. Alright. So this is the 5 piece. Okay, so that's... There's Elias. Orange diary contains some label pages. This is 5 pieces. Captioned, the picture was famous in a house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Andy and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. Bloop. And the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose, to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later that they never even took a second photo. That is a shitty, shitty thing. So this is Marguerite's then. No, we don't know. Damn it. Because they could have been in any order. On the plus side, we have a new picture of Miracle. Or a picture of Miracle, so we never had the original thing of him. Okay, so... So Miracle was 14 years younger than everyone else. So it's obviously not his kids. It's not Gwen. So it's probably one of these 3 that's Lauren. Wait, no, she's notable, so she's got to be here. This has to be Lauren. She's an author. So let's find out who she was married to. The only notes and observations you made was skimming through Lone Rouge's diary. Book is published. Jacob. Jacob Rafferty. Because Rafferty was her original name. So this is Jacob Rafferty. And there. Died in the final months of World War II. Woman was pregnant. Left to raise her son Clark alone. So this is Clark. I am sorry, my keyboard is going down. So Clark Rafferty. Clark had himself a bit of a rough time, it looks like. Her mother's family is called the Cossells, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she would always refer to as Pop, was the head lawyer of the Roottrees Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Clance Trust. So let's search that. Clancead Trust. It was a highly unusual corporation arrangement named after Clancy Edward Roottree. Okay. So then that's who this is. Well, we know Pop. Pop was the one on the left, so that's Pop. So this is Clancy, Edward Roottree. And you were a lawyer. And your mom was the Cosell. Sarah Cosell. Ta-da. Simple as that, folks. Okay. Where's one? Elias's son. So he's the CE in the candy, right? No, I'm bouncing all over the place, but yeah, he's cinnamon extract. Fixed percentage are split within every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative. Account is created for each blood relative at birth and first accessible when they reach 18. The actual number has never been fully disclosed to the public, but due to the ever-increasing success of the company, it's a significant amount of money. Clancead Trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances. The Roottrees versus RR. The 5-piece guarantee. Oh, that's got to be some too. Find very few details with regard to the Clancead Trust. RR attempted to unsuccessfully remove a fellow family member from the trust. It was said that RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and second, they committed a significant crime against a family member. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the Clancead Trust, it was impossible to remove any director and implies without resolving the trust. Okay, interesting. So we got to find who RR is, but also the 5-piece guarantee is got to be a thing. 5-piece guarantee in combination with the Clancead Trust was Elias Rootree's attempt to ensure that the Roottrees Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation is somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of Rootree's president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5-piece guarantee went in effect, this was 25 cents. Now it's closer to $4. Combined with the Clancead Trust, however, it makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that his direct relatives could afford to be the president, and he knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company, they would have vested interest. Okay. That is interesting, and that is terrifying. Receive internal shorthand names for the different generations of their family. Lauren used them often. 5 pieces, the first generation. The next generation, the Free Spirits, the generation after Lauren's, including her son. The entry entitled Complaints from Lauren's Roottrees Diary, written in 1953, there seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwyn, who was on the notable list. Seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it all fell on deaf ears. During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. What a mess, but she just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in Starlet and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I am jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I am off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born to a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worrying, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff just like I do at Gwen. Okay, so we can go to Dynasty for a second, but we can get a picture now of Margolette. She's the blonde. Also, housewife. Hey! Look at that.
It's time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the Roottrees Front. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottrees' belongings have apparently been missing. Most notably, a framed photo of the Roottree family from the mid-1960s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again,
I mean,
that's
we're gonna do that. Okay. So we might not be working for someone who should be working for that. Okay, so this is wrong. That's why. I did the wrong picture. This is their other sister. WRTD News. Investigative jazz radio station. During the new segments at 45 minutes. Recently talked about picture Carlos. This wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with the key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to a recent storm. This means it was likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. The psychologist, however, also goes on to posit the culprit had an alternate agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say they have it in their possession. Comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the Roottrees curse being a real true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence on it." Okay. Long, rambling conspiracy theory website with a very small, very red text on black background that says that Roottrees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. Important update: with Carl and Brenda and the girls, that makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the Roottrees died mysteriously. They say, guys, Carl was hit by a trunk in 1982, but nobody was arrested. And then Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down. Was he poisoned? Now, just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. This cannot be a coincidence. It's another piece that claims that if you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5 pieces raptor, it creates a Mayan ruby skull, a secret message meant to subliminally scare people away. The post before this is a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corners simultaneously, 4 daytime cubes. The author of this site seems to agree. An entry from a few months ago claims that the owner of the website received an email from Chris Raff75 at Prodigy.us asking him to take down the site with faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. The owner claims that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows that the proof was fake because he's an expert on creating fake evidence. It seems that Operation RT. Oh my god, I would just helicopter land. Okay, hey, we got your name, buddy. Oh my god, this is fantastic. Alright, we're actually going to pause this here. We don't need hints. We're going to stop this here. We'll be back on... I can't say Thursday because I'm playing a game then. So tomorrow I'll be on Shadow of Nox for Avatar. Wednesday, I may be streaming this again because I want to keep this all fresh in my mind and I'm kind of addicted at this point. Thursday, I will be doing Gen Con TV as a BattleTech one-shots, and then probably Friday back to streaming this. This is going to be a busy week for me. I don't care. This is fun. I really am enjoying this. I like pulling the threads. Let's go to the goodbye screen. Let's say goodbye to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. We will see you soon.